Alright, let's check this clip out.
No, because fuck you, America, for making me pay, or for making me work 4 fucking jobs! 4 jobs! While I'm in college in rural fucking Tennessee and I can barely pay my own fucking rent and I'm taking 19 credit hours on top of those 4 fucking jobs and I still can't graduate on time and I still can't graduate early even though I'm taking 21 credit hours next semester! It's not fucking fair. It's not fucking fair anymore. It's never been fair, not in my lifetime. And will it ever be fair? No, because I'm a woman in America. Oh my God. I just want to live in peace, America. And I will one day. Probably somewhere fucking else. Anyways, look how cute my nails are. No, because...
That's the thing, right? This is a thing where it is what in the social media is for now. It is for women to go online to cry to their audience, to cry to the camera, to be outraged, to be emotional, to look for validation, look for support online. Look for others to prop them up, to agree with them, to make them feel better. And to support their delusions. Support their delusions. Support their hypocrisies. Right? And I think that is slowly deteriorating women's brains. It is making women worse than ever. So, God, this is like, it is sad because you see this so many times. And this is what women use social media for. Validation, delusional support. So, yeah. It's like, if you look at the comments, it's just a bunch of people just talking about the system. Really? The system. No. I'm going to say that here's the thing that I honestly believe. I'm not saying that things aren't more expensive or whatever not. But I honestly believe the biggest problems, at least let's say with the money wise, is that more and more people, thanks to social media, are living beyond their means. More people want to go to trips. More people want to, buy houses. More people want to just spend more than what they have. And I think that's the biggest key. And not just that. A woman that like her, college age, wrote something like that. Back in the day, let's say 50, 60, 70 years ago, well, she would be in a relationship where, let's say, a man and a woman, right? They actually support each other. Maybe she even be married, right? That's the thing where you're not suffering from all this stuff. You know what? Let me react. Let's break down this clip and then I'll talk more about it.
Fuck you, America, for making me pay, or for making me work 4 fucking jobs! 4 jobs! While I'm in...
Nobody is making you do anything you don't want to do. You do not have to go to college. This is the thing, right? More and more men are not going to college. It's not just, yes, this is also a bad thing because some men are feeling dejected, right? Dejected because of college. But there is a growing group of men that's not going to college. And what are they doing? What are those men doing? They're going to trade schools. Electrician, carpenter, anything that's a trade, right? Anything that you work with your hands, right? Plumbing, what is it? AC, right? plenty of men are deciding not to go to college to get into debt. Instead, they're picking up a trade, going to a trade school, being an apprentice. That is pure intelligence right there. Because those jobs, they are in demand and they pay well. Here's a woman wanting wanting equality, the freedom, feminism, right? What they're looking for. To go to college. This ain't a free ride. You chose to go to college. You chose, and I guarantee you, women like this will do shitty ass majors. Shitty ass majors. So you're doing 4 jobs for what? Let's say you weren't smart enough to get a full tuition, for school. Well, that says you that, that says something that you didn't qualify well enough for college. But now you got to do 4 jobs, which is, it don't really make sense because you won't have time for your schooling if you have 4 jobs. So this is weird where if she's a full-time student, what does she have? 1 hour each of a job? 2 hours? I mean, that is ridiculous, but fine. Let's say she has 4 jobs. This is a thing where women need to understand that is the real world. No one is here to baby you. The world doesn't have an obligation to baby you, to cater to you, to make life easier for you. There is a growing population of young men being dejected from life, right? They feel like life is like going nowhere, like they're unhappy and all that shit. So a lot of things, a lot of men have given up on life, or they're not motivated in life, and a lot of times that leads to self-deletion for these young men. So for women like this to think that yes, you're doing 4 jobs, going to school, well, so what? So what? This is a thing where women think they are obligated, or they deserve sympathy. They deserve life being more soft on them, right? They deserve an easier life. Well, that's not real world. That's not the real world.
College in rural fucking Tennessee, and I can barely pay my own fucking rent, and
This is the thing. You can't pay your own rent. Are you living on your own? Because I know most students, well, they live with a whole bunch of people. So this is the thing with, I think a lot of women do. They like to not say everything. They like to omit. They like to omit shit, just to make themselves seem like the victim. Because you're not. You're not the victim. Look, she's painting the picture, right? She's painting the picture of a victim, ain't she? But this is the thing. This is the absurdity. If you live there, why not commute? If your family lived there, why not commute? You do not have to live, out on your own. You do not have to rent. You don't. Now, let's say if you do, right? Whatever reason you do. Okay. If you decided, now, because there's so much nuance to it. Because that's why I want people to not just jump to, oh, I want to sympathize for her. No, because she's looking for that shit. Women are looking to be the victim because it makes them feel better, right? Like the support that comes with being a victim makes women feel better, right? That's the delusion, absurdity of that. But if this is where you live, right? Now I'm not even saying that, if you're from another state, which is stupid in itself because you shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have gone to an out-of-state college if you are barely making it by, because that's stupid itself. But fine, let's say you live there. Well, one, you should have commute. Two, well, you should have put more thought into actually having a whole lot more roommates. So really, you crying about not being able to pay rent, well, again, you don't deserve sympathy because that is your own choice. This is the thing. This is the thing where women seem to always cry for sympathy, always cry for compassion, empathy, when they're the ones who make the choices in their lives. They are adults. They are adults. Even when you're 18, you're still an adult. There's no sympathy for that shit. You chose these paths. So, you will have to suffer for it.
And I'm taking 19 credit hours on top of those 4 fucking jobs, and I still can't graduate on time, and I still can't graduate early, even though I'm taking 21 credit hours next semester!
Then pick a different major! It's like, pick something else. It's like, it's already determined, okay, by your major, how many credits you need to graduate. So really, where's the crying about that? If you have, she was said 19 credits. Okay, is that enough from the major? No, obviously not. Now she's saying 21. Is that enough? Obviously not. This is already predetermined. That's the insanity of it. That's the delusion I'm talking about. That's the craziness where you decide what to do with your life. It doesn't come out how you imagined it. So now you're crying about it, which is, I believe, fake crying about it. But you're crying about it online to a bunch of strangers so they can feel sad for you, sympathize for you. Okay? So they can prop up your feelings, right? Make you feel better. So strangers can make you feel better. Only women can do that shit. Only women can do that shit.
It's not fucking fair. It's not fucking fair anymore. It's never been fair, not in my lifetime. And will it ever...
Fairness? Fairness? Women have only asked for equality. It's equality. You are equal. Nothing that you're going through is anything special. Fair? Life is not fair. This is the problem where her parents has failed her. Her parents has failed her. I don't even know if she has one parent or two, right? But whoever parented her has failed her. Because they would teach her life is not fair. There's no fairness in life. Okay? The only thing you have to count on is the actions that you make. The actions you make will dictate the consequences of your life. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Good or bad consequences, well, that's up to life. That's up to the world. That's up to the steps you make. Hopefully they become good, but no, you can't tell, right? But that is the world. Fairness is ridiculous. Fairness is a delusion that the world has put onto people, right? Maybe the whole Disney insanity, okay? To be honest, there's no true such thing as fairness, right? You could look for equality, or you could look for, I don't know. I just don't see the world as being fair. But that is the world. That is the world we live in. Yeah, I'll check out the Saturday one. But yeah, this is the thing, right? In this century, last century, whatever, there's no such thing as fairness. Really, there isn't. Right? So really, you're nothing special. Asking for fairness is another delusion. And women are chock full of delusions.
Be fair? No, because I'm a woman in America.
Yeah, a woman. That's why it's not fair. It don't matter. It don't matter if you're a woman. What? You have equality. Fairness. You have no right. There's no obligation for fairness. You don't deserve fairness. That's no such thing. It's just how it is. Off the bat, fairness is, you could say, like, a family's income. Well, probably her family wasn't that well off. So, fairness, okay? Intelligence, probably hers is pretty low. So really, where's the fairness in that, right? That's the insanity. That's the insanity. There is no fairness. It's all about your actions, plain and simple. Her actions seem to be failing her, but what she's going to do to compensate is look for validation, look for support online, so she can feel better. It's ridiculous, and it has nothing to do with being a woman. It has nothing to do with. Hell, more and more women are going to college than men. Where's the fairness in that? There are more programs, scholarships, more support to push women to go to college than there are for men, if there are any for men. I don't know if there are any for men, especially if you're not a minority. So, yeah, fairness, that's ridiculous. Absolute ridiculous. And this is why I said, we allow women to live in their delusions. Fairness? No, you're deluded. And to think that you're a woman means anything about fairness. Just because you're a woman, what? Should society give her free college? Give her free rent? Graduate her early? What does that have to do with you being a woman? Nothing. Ridiculous.
God, I just want to live in peace, America. And I will one day. Probably somewhere fucking else. Anyways, look how cute my nails are.
There's a growing, I guess in recent years, growing disdain for America, which is, I think, is silly. I think it's disgusting, right? And I think it's idiotic. Because there's very few places in the world like the U.S. You can't get the freedoms, the ability to elevate yourself, the ability to just freedom of speeches, freedom of expression. The amount of things you can have in America, you won't find that other places. So I think I think it's disgusting that more and more people born American are shitting on America. I just think that's disgusting, in my opinion. So, and I'm American born, and I always think that that's disgusting, because I don't say that, America is the best place on earth. I'm not saying that, but you ain't gonna get better places in this world, right? The same freedoms or the same likes. You always think there's places around the world, Japan, Australia, UK, all these places that are nice. There are places that people there want to move here. Okay? Hell, our economy supports other places, right? The stock market is like, it props up other countries. It's just, I always think it's ridiculous. I mean, I'm not saying that the U.S. is the greatest place on earth. No. I mean, we have our problems, but to shit on the place that you're born in, I just think it's silly. But whatever. Entitlement, I guess. What do you guys think?